John, good win on the weekends. How did all the boys that played in that one pull up? Any soreness that's going to keep them out of this week?
No, everyone pulled up really well from the game, which is good, positive, because we haven't had that too often this season. So it's good that players that played will be able to back up, and it gave Ben Garuccio an extra week there on the training field, so which is good for him. He's looked good in training. And it was a good win. It was a positive result for us, especially away from home. It's a difficult place to go, and our second half was a really good performance that showed that we're still capable of putting on performances like that, and they'll give everyone confidence.
Well, you do have some other absences. I'll go through that. Nikolai, how far away is Nikolai?
Nikolai is available this week. He's had a good week of training, so what part he plays, I'm not sure yet, but he's available for selection. He's looked really good. He's looked sharp actually, so that's a positive for us as well. Alex, we're not sure yet. We're still the next 2 days will tell us whether he's available to play.
And Lusty, how close is he getting?
And Lusty again, he's improved a lot. So closer. Hopefully they'll be this week. Not sure yet, but pretty happy with the way he's going. He took a big step forward towards the end of last week and the beginning of this week. So really happy about that because he's been out for quite a long time.
What was that big step forward? Did he pass the test?
No, just the way he was moving, just gaining that confidence back again, which is really important for someone that's been out for so long. That's sometimes it just takes a few more days and a week or whatever just to gain that confidence, but moving a lot better.
How's the mood been since getting that breakthrough win? You talk about the confidence and stuff. Have you seen that amongst the guys this week?
Yeah, I saw it, literally straight after the game, but also in that second half. I just felt that they felt more confident in that second half. They felt, that, no matter what Newcastle threw at them, they were going to be able to deal with it. And with the ball, we created a number of opportunities. So the confidence, came back. And then during the week, it's been really good. The focus has been there because we know that we have to keep on performing like that to get the results we need.
How do you keep the momentum going then?
Training like we did last week, training like we have so far this week, making sure that one result doesn't mean that we're up the top. It means that it gives us confidence to keep on performing like that, and that's really what we have to do is just keep working, making sure that we work on things that we know that we can do well and things that we haven't done so well so far.
Bit of hype around Botic scoring a couple of goals. How's he been this week in his mood after scoring?
Yeah, he's been fine. He hasn't really got, he's not the type that will get carried away. He still works the same, works hard. It's up to me to make sure that the added pressure from the outside doesn't, or the added hype around him doesn't affect him, because he started 4 games so far this season. There's still a lot of learning and a lot of improving, and he knows that, and that's all he can do. And the pressure's not on Noah anyway. The pressure's more on the older, experienced players that know how to deal with certain situations. Noah's there to keep learning the game and keep improving, and so far he's doing that. He's got that mindset.
Noah, he's been in the spotlight pretty much since he was 16, since he scored 4 goals at the Under-17 World Cup. I think he was given the cursed title of the next Mark Viduka at that stage. Is this something that he's a bit used to the hype already, because even though he's so young?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Look, he hasn't played a lot of senior football. There was hype, yeah, of course. And then he went away for 2 years in Germany in the youth system, and so then the spotlight's not there, the pressure's not there. Playing in front of crowds or in front of media or in front of people watching on TV is not there. So it was more with him. It's just focusing on training, and then what he needs to do in the game, and that's what he does really well. He's a really good trainer. He no matter what exercise we're doing, he does it to the best of his ability, and so if that's the way of him dealing with the hype, I don't know, but I don't see it affecting him too much. And again, like I said, that it's more us not going on about it. He's still starting his career. I wouldn't compare him to anyone else. That's unfair for him. He's a player that will hopefully create his own name.
What skill set does he have? Obviously, there's lots of different type of strikers. If he develops well, what type of striker do you think he can become?
I think he can become someone that can hold the ball up well. He still need to improve on that side of things, but he knows the movement of when to come to feet, when to run in behind. His understanding of that striker role is really good, and gets into good goal scoring positions. I know that players don't like scoring tap-ins, but as a striker, that's the best goal you can, because you're creating that space, you're finding that space, and the timing's good. And he scored a tap-in against Newcastle, and that's because of his positioning. So he's alive in the box, and then that's any striker should be alive in the box, but it's easy to say, but it's hard to do, and he's always on the move in the box. So. That's a big asset of his.
How much do the goals help him and his confidence and his growth to continue playing at this level?
Yeah, it definitely helps. With any striker or any attacking player, goals gives you confidence, and then every time you set foot on the pitch, you think you're going to score. But it's not only about that. He's all round game. He's come up this season against players that have been around a long time, and he's been able to cope with it. The defenders the other day were kicking him, and the making sure that he knew that he was in for a game, and he didn't shy away, put his body in front of the ball and made sure that he held up the ball when he needed to, competed. All those things will give him confidence, because he's coming up against the very experienced players that have played national team football. So that will help his confidence.
I know the phrase loses somewhat of its impact given how close the table is, but there's the cliche that you've got to beat the teams around you on the table, and Perth, they're only a point clear of you at the moment, so you beat them, you're rising at least one spot up the table this round. Does that give this game a bit of extra importance as well, or is that some messaging you can bring to the boys?
It won't be the messaging, because every game, I know there's a cliche, but every game's important. Every game is one that you want to win and that you believe you can win. And Perth will be feeling the same, that they're coming here thinking they've stayed the week down in Melbourne, they didn't travel back to Perth, so they'll be hoping that they can turn their away form around and get a result that will help them stay in contention. So we'll be thinking the same way. We know it's not going to be easy. We have to be at our best. They've got some good players, very good players, especially up top. So we have to be at our best to get the result.
Playing in Ballarat, I don't think it's a great record overall, but the last 3 you might be unbeaten there.
Yeah.
What do you make of playing out there?
We don't mind playing anywhere. We're happy to play anywhere. We've been used to it, so it's one of those ones that whether we play in Ballarat, which we drew last game I think against Newcastle. We beat Newcastle there last season. We've had some decent results at Mars since I've been here, so I've been happy with Mars Stadium. But we've had results in Tasmania, we've had results in Geelong, we've had results at Amy. We're happy to play anywhere. That's the way we are as a club at the moment and as a team, and until we have our own stadium, then we'll deal with wherever we play.
Just switching gears quickly, we saw the announcement that Socceroos will be playing against Ecuador. It's their first game of the new cycle, the 2026 World Cup cycle. You yourself, in 2008, you were a veteran coming back from the World Cup. What goes through a veteran member of the squad's mind when it's a new 4-year cycle? Because I'm sure there's different parts of you that are thinking, I want to get to another World Cup now, I want to play it again, and then the other half's thinking like, oh, that's in 3.5, 4 years' time now.
Yeah.
What's running through your mind at this point?
It's a good question, because it's hard, because it is a long time. It's nearly 4 years that you have to wait, or not wait, but you have to. Is your body going to be all right? So the way that I looked at it, that I tried to play every game for the Socceroos as if it would be my last, because there's such a gap between games, and between tournaments and between major events. So I think that's the way they have to look at it, is that it's an opportunity to represent your country again, and if you seem to make it another cycle, then great. If not, just make the most of every game that you play for the Socceroos. And what better way after a really good World Cup to play in front of home crowd in Sydney and then in Melbourne. It'll be a good atmosphere against a side that will be a good side that will give us a good test. All good?
I might just
Thanks.
jump into
Yeah.
one,
Oh.
John, just because the Ballarat guys and
Yeah.
jumping, just touching on playing in Ballarat with had great fan support there in the last couple of years. Like Shane said, unbeaten for a few games. So how much you're looking forward to seeing the fans come out and putting on a show for them?
Yeah, no, it's always good, to get fans because I understand, it's probably that bit too far away sometimes for the fans from Ballarat to come to Amy Park. So to see us there and for when they come out, they can give us a real boost and, get to see A-League football, players that they watch on TV week in, week out. It's great to be able to get to Ballarat and play.
Just quickly, I forgot to ask Rami, how far away is he?
Rami's probably still a couple of weeks away. He's getting better, but it's still a couple of weeks. But not 100% sure which game that will be.